to say hi to Paul for me.
Hello.
For us.
We're going to dance it out. We're going to dance it out.
Told you so.
Hey, Dave. Glad to see you, buddy. Hello, welcome to Moto Monday. We're going to be starting here in a few minutes. Drop a comment where you're tuning in from. Let's make this a global party today. Yeah, Dave, absolutely a great start to the week with Moto Monday, getting things going. How are you doing? And where are you tuning in from? I don't remember where you're at, Dave. Drop a note so I can see that. So glad you're here. We're gonna get started here in a few minutes. Derek's he's working on some back end stuff. Drop me a note and let me know where you're tuning in from. We're gonna make this a global party. Monday, March 1st. Here we go. Pump it up. Dance a little bit with me. Get your butt out of your chair. Give yourself a break. Dance it out with me. Here we go. Dropping the beat.
Told you so.
Yeah! Welcome, welcome. Drop me a note. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Derek's going to be right back here in a minute. South Carolina, Dave. Right on. It's where we cut the light switch on and off when we get our buggy to go to the grocery store. Love South Carolina.
Some rum and cola. Wasn't brave enough yet just to talk to you.
Don't be a lurker. Let me know where you're tuning in from. How your day's going. We're in March already. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop a link to your portfolio as well. We might get crazy and take a look at some portfolios today. We'll see what happens. If you are joining from Facebook, there's going to be a little link up above where it says allow Ecamm some permissions. Click on that bad boy so that way we can see your name with your comments. And drop me a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And please also put a link to your portfolio. We might be getting crazy. There he is. Derek's back.
What's
We
up?
might get crazy and take a look at some portfolios today. Who knows?
All right, let's do it. We're almost there, guys.
They're just like, Derek, please hurry. We don't want to see Paul dance anymore. I'm going to dance anyway.
Do it. All right, guys. What's up, man? All right. Let's do this.
Are we doing it?
Soon.
Let's do it.
So soon.
So excited. I took a behind the scenes picture today. I think I'm going to put this on my LinkedIn.
Nice. I should send a behind the scenes photo.
Yeah.
You guys can send behind the scene photos of yourself. I don't know how.
That'd be great.
I don't know how, but that sounds fun.
I know you've got an email address.
Right?
Here we
That's
go.
what we should do.
If you want to, yep. Hold on, I got to pose with you. Hold on.
All right.
It's a COVID selfie, right?
COVID selfie.
COVID group selfie. You got to go
Oh
on Zoom call
man,
and do it.
what I love, I think I can loop this into the photo to the stream. I don't know. I'm working from the home today, from the bedroom, because my downtown office, they just started construction today. So I moved everything down there, and then I had to promptly bring it all back. But I didn't bring everything back.
We're going to start a betting pool for where is Derek going live from this week.
I kind of like that. I kind of like the mystery of it, right? I don't know if this is a good way to show it. I could probably loop it in
you
better.
See it?
Oh, I'm going to
is
see if
that
I
me?
can. No, it's me. I wonder.
Oh, look at what Dave said here. Took your advice. Finally celebrated. It felt good.
Dude.
Dave.
So good, man.
Dave. That's so great. You're going to love what we got in line today then.
So we name our vehicles.
Yeah.
And we had a Dave once. It was a nice Toyota Corolla. And we named it Dave because our kids were watching Penguins of Madagascar. And there's the octopus. He's actually the villain. And his name is Dave.
Yeah.
And the kids just loved it. And they're like, we're naming the car Dave. And so Dave was our car for a while. What's up, Dave? I see you in the chat.
Toyota Corolla back then. And now you have a minibus.
So we just bought a Ford Transit 15-passenger van last week. It is the hugest bus of a vehicle, but our kids love it. And my daughter named it Big Gus the Bus. And I'm like...
Big Gus the Bus.
I don't know if Gus is going to stay, but the van's name currently is Big Gus.
Jessica Ashmore tuning in from Mississippi. Hope
What's
y'all
up,
are
Jessica?
well. We are
I see
better
you.
than a frog's hair split twice. We are finer. That's what it is. Finer than a frog's hair split twice. Y'all say that down in Mississippi? Or is that just Montana?
I don't think Montana says that either, dude. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're an import.
I'm an import. I'm a transplant. I've been here for like 12, 13, 2006,
well,
7.
Take notes, young Padawan. There's some Montanan expressions that you just are not, you're not stuck
right?
yet.
I know, right? All right.
So excited for this show.
I'm pumped, man. It's going to be good.
It's going to be like the longest 30 seconds.
30, 29, 28. Why do we have this long countdown? Because
if
the
you
algorithms...
are joining us on Facebook, click on the link above. Drop a note down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have a link to your portfolio, put that as well. We might get crazy and take a look at some portfolios on the show. We never know. We're going to be giving some stuff away as well.
Boom.
Starting in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rah! This is going to be great.
Oh, man. Guys, welcome to Moto Monday. Pumped to welcome you here. Broadcasting live from my bedroom. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be so good. That's what the streamers do these days. They're in their bedroom, you know it. They're in there. It's whatever. It's how we do things. COVID. It doesn't matter.
Are you wearing pants?
I mean, yes. I had to think about it for a minute. Did you see that? Did you see that hesitation?
Do I want to say what's actually happening?
All right.
Or
Here's what we're doing. I was going to introduce Paul. We're just going to go right into the two. What's up, guys? Welcome to Moto Monday. It's going to be a good one, clearly, except for I need to scoot back. All right. You're just going to get the big, giant Derek face.
I'll just come in closer.
There you go. I like it.
There we go. Moto Monday.
Moto Monday, up and close and personal. Clean your nose. We're going to do some deep cleansing breaths.
Right.
The take command breaths. Anyway. All right.
Good show.
Enough of this nonsense. Guys, joining from New Delhi. Wow. India. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here, Annika.
Tuesday.
I know, right? Well, Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday for Annika. Yeah. We've got Moto Monday for everybody else.
Love it. So Paul sent a beautiful email for me to send out to people, and that's what I was doing during the intro. The countdown, I was rapidly firing off an email to my list, so hopefully we have a lot of people joining in here shortly. I did not proofread it at all. I just copied and pasted, Paul. Hopefully the links work. I don't know. It's going to be fun. This is a new level of, let's see what happens for me. Usually I'm like on it. So today, I don't know what we're talking about. We kind of talked about it a little bit in the yesterday. We kind of brainstormed, but I don't even know what we're doing today. I'm super pumped. If you guys are new here, my name's Derek. This is my good friend Paul, and I am a graphic designer, creative director type Photoshop kind of a guy, doing lots of cool stuff like that. Been freelancing for a long time. I've had multiple clients all over the world, and Paul is a lot of things as well. A Mustang Marine as one of the things in his life that he gets to check off a box, which is a massive accomplishment in itself. But currently he's helping business executives, CEOs, and lots of other really cool people. And I don't even want to begin to try and explain everything he does, because I'm already not even close, right? So here's the deal. Yeah. So we work together. He's more of the business side of things. I'm more of the creative side of things. And together, we're trying to help you guys in your careers, whether that's as an in-house designer or as a freelancer, or even just a human in the middle of a pandemic, isolated in your room. And we're hoping to create a conversation. So jump in the chat if you're not already. We're watching Behance, we're watching YouTube, we're watching Facebook. So we'd love to hear from you as we get going. Feel free to ask questions. And Paul has an amazing lecture up front for us to learn from this week. And then we're going to jump into it.
Why are we started off with like that kind of word?
You know what? Lecture is what came to mind. I thought I was doing a good intro.
Students.
No,
hold on.
Here's a lecture.
My glasses. Where's my glasses?
You know what? I quit. I got pants on, so I can just.
Take the show, Paul. I got it. I can't switch anything, but we're gonna be good.
I know. I don't even have my stream deck, so I got to find where the next scene is here. Just all right. We're gonna just jump right into Paul.
There it is. All right. My name is Paul Gowin. I'm a CEO success manager, and what does that mean? I work with CEOs, executives, for when they're ready to make change within their company and do development differently. Today, what we're going to be doing is talking about those times where you may feel that you should just quit. Maybe it's because you're getting new, you're new and you're getting started in the graphic design industry, or maybe you've hit that plateau and you want to take things to the next level, or maybe you got rocked back on your heels because of COVID or other things, and you've had a dip in your business, and that's taken a hit to your confidence. So today we're going to talk about if you have low or sometimes no confidence, what can you do to increase that confidence? I've got two screens here, so I'll be looking back and forth. Here's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. To create confidence, we're going to be talking about the roots. There we go. Then we're going to be talking about what you can do for yourself to create more confidence, what you can do with other people to create confidence, and then what happens when doubt sets in. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Put your questions in the chat roll as I'm going through here. Here we go. So the roots of confidence, if we're going to start with, well, I don't have confidence to present my portfolio, or I don't have confidence to meet with the client, or the client told me no, they don't want to work with me, that can really take a hit. What we want to do is first start with a definition of confidence. And I like to go back in history. So for this word confidence, it started coming around at about 1400. So a little bit ago. And it's a smoosh of 2 words. The first one is calm, and it had a little bit of a adjustment to get it to become the con, and that means with. And then fidere, which is Latin for to trust. So when we're looking at confidence, what we're really looking at here is how can you have trust in what you are doing? That is that root word. Derek, come on back here. And what have you seen with aspects of trust, building trust within yourself or other people in your career?
I mean, at a base level, I'm a little distracted by how huge my head is right now compared to yours. I'm sorry, guys.
There we go. Is that better?
Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take the microphone. We're just going to settle. Nope. Confidence. Okay, here's how I've seen this is working with clients, simply doing what you said you were going to do. And we can use the word promise, right? You made a promise. Yeah. My kids who are going to become lawyers, not because I want them to or care about that, but because of how they pick apart you said, right? They know the words. And so we've had to become very intentional about saying maybe, which does not mean yes, but it also does not mean no. It means I don't know yet, but that's not a yes.
Right.
That's not a yes, but it's not a no. So don't start crying yet. That's the game you play. And so with clients, when you say something, you might not have said, hey, I promise this, but at the end of the day, you said it. Is your word good or not?
Right.
So building confidence for them to be like, okay, so here's another case in point. There's been somebody I've been working with who has in the past said, I will get you this asset for this project. And in the past, that day would come and go. And that's become a routine. And so I know to build a buffer that I'm just not going to get that asset, but I've also found ways to push back so he understands, no, you said this and I need this now. And that's something where you learn those things. And then something on the back end of that, if you're freelancing and you're sending something to somebody in an email, you say, hey, here's that thing that I promised to you. And you might not have said, I promised this, but it builds that confidence with him. Oh, he made a promise. He kept it. He said something. He did it. And so that's something that I've learned over time of how to do a better job, because at the beginning of my career, I broke promises all the time. I would say in the moment, trying to make somebody happy, yeah, I'll get that to you tonight. No big deal. Tonight would come, I'd get tired. And then I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, well, it's already after hours. They're not going to check it anyway. I'll just send it to them tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they're going to check it or not. I said I would send it and I didn't. I broke a promise. Right. So that loses confidence.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at how we can build that confidence. And we're going to start by looking at how to build confidence within yourself. There's the swoosh.
Whoosh.
Got it. Swoosh, swoosh. All right. So let's take a look at how to build confidence within yourself. Well, it's earned. It's not given. And that's what Derek's talking about here. When you promise and you don't follow through, then you lose that trust. This is earned. So that's what we're going to take a look at is first with yourself. Listen to your language. Are you in that place of over promising and then under delivering? Where are you cutting yourself short? Are you saying, well, I can't get started because I'm just new? There's no way people are going to like this because the last 3 clients said no. Like, listen to your language and how is that building up trust within you for your capabilities, for your knowledge, for your skills, for your attitude. What are you saying to yourself or some of those loud whispers that are going off in your head? Listen to that language and it will help if you say this stuff out loud. You know, some of us, in an effort to boost confidence, say things to ourselves that we wouldn't ever say to our worst enemy. Stop being your worst enemy. Be your best ally. Listen to your language. From there, call your shot. This is a thing that I learned in the Marine Corps as a competitive marksman. And think about, you could do this with basketball or cricket or like Babe Ruth. I'm gonna knock it over out of the park, left field, right? You're going to call your shot. And so in your personal life is where we really want to take a look at how are you doing this. If you say that you're going to go to the gym, did you go to the gym? If you say that you're not going to eat that double fudge brownie with chocolate chips and chocolate icing on the top, did you keep your word to yourself? Did you call that shot successfully? If you say that you're going to go to bed on time, get up on time, drink enough water. Oh, there we go. Shoop, drink enough water. Where are you at in calling your shot? Are you following your schedule? Or as you're getting going, are you giving yourself these outs? Are you giving yourself these free passes? Call your shot accurately. This morning, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go for a 5-minute walk around the block. Did you do it? That is going to lead up to the skills for you to meet with that client. It starts with you first. Call your shot. And think about this. There's a game in American basketball that I played as a kid where you just have the ball and you go to different places in the court and you would say like off my right leg, just standing on my right leg, off the backboard, nothing but net. Can you say that after? I don't know. Off the backboard, nothing but net, not going to hit the rim. And then you do it. And then if you do it, the other person has to do it as well behind you. And then you go until you miss. So you're going to call your shot. And then the final piece, like Dave was saying, Dave T, so excited that this is working for you. Celebrate what you've learned around calling your shot. If you know that you're not going to make good decisions after 6 p.m. because you are just mentally fatigued, you celebrate that and stay away from the double fudge chocolate chip chocolate icing brownie. Like that's not going to help you. So celebrate other ways. Celebrate that you're learning, celebrate that you're moving forward, celebrate that you're keeping your word to yourself, celebrate that you're calling your shot. Celebrate. And what could a celebrate look like? Well, I was dancing at the beginning of the show. I'm celebrating that I've had a really great morning. I'm celebrating that February was a really great month. I'm celebrating that you are here with all the places that you could be. I'm celebrating that you joined Derek and me today. So excited about that. So that's point 2. We first got to build that trust within yourself.
Boom.
There it is.
So good. So good. So good. Is the video lagging for anyone else? Annika, I see you in the chat. Okay, so back to broadcasting from my bedroom. I recently moved. So my studio used to be in our bedroom, and just out of the frame was our bed. Like literally, like just right. But just now I have an office, which is fantastic. So I was like, hey,
right.
I don't need to have my NAS server next to where I sleep at night, going, all the sounds it does, and getting radioactive brain melt from everything being in the same space. And I used to be in there because that's where I broadcasted from. So the feed would be good. And I have since moved it downstairs to my wife's office space, but then I decided to broadcast back from up here. Cause why not, guys? Why not?
We're mixing it up. We're learning, right?
Sorry for the lag. And also you perhaps might have a better experience today on YouTube because I know Behance is updating some things and that could be part of it also. The live button keeps going gray for me. The live button.
Oh, for where we're streaming on Behance.
Interesting. The resolution.
This is great feedback.
This is great feedback. You know what?
Giving feedback to Adobe and Behance. So this is some great feedback, y'all.
Here's what we're going to do. For the sake of the stream, I'm going to walk downstairs and unplug from my lights and everything so we can make sure that this is solid. I'm going to see if that helps us.
Give me a swoosh and I'll go to point number 3.
Give me a swoosh and point number 3. This should be good.
Here we go. I'll see you in a minute. I love this. So we talked about the background of the word, where we got the word from, and how to take some steps to create confidence in yourself. You're going to love this because the steps are not that different in creating confidence with others. Listen to your language. If you find yourself talking down about the clients, if you hear yourself saying things that you're super anxious around meeting with this client, listen to your language. And it might be that you don't have a lot of client proposals under your belt. So listen to that language and see if you can go to the deeper level of truth around what might be happening for you. Let's go into the next piece. You listen to that language and then call your shot again. This is what Derek was talking about with being vigilant to not overpromise and then underdeliver. If anything, you're going to underpromise over deliver, knock it out of the park, and make sure that your client receives what you promised at the right time, with the right quality, with the right work. You don't want to send them somebody else's portfolio, right? You're going to call that shot and then make sure that you follow through. That piece is when you promise something, instead of writing it down on a scratch piece of paper, see if you can put it in your schedule immediately. A lot of times people are breaking the promises to themselves because they're just, it's like they have a bank account, but instead of money that's in the bank account, it's your time. And when you overpromise, it's like you're writing a check for a time commitment, and then somebody comes in to cash that check and the check bounces because you've overcommitted yourself. And that's going to affect the level of trust that other people have in you, as well as what you have in yourself. So when you make sure that you are following through, you're scheduling those pieces, you're calling your shot, you're listening to your language, that is going to help you increase that confidence by building that trust in yourself. And when you show up into that client relationship with that higher level of trust in yourself, then other people are going to see that and be investing in that trust in you as well. You're going to earn that trust. It's not given. You've got to earn it. We've got some comments coming in. Oh, there we go. Oh, are we swooping? Are we swooshing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's a great start. Because I unplugged from my camera, I have to remember how to bring that back as an option. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're close. We're close.
You got it? All right, you keep doing that. Let's take a look here. Christine Joan, billiard/snooker, calling your shot. Absolutely. Yeah, just like that. Dave recommends that bumping down the resolution is going to help out with the live stream. Really appreciate that, Dave. Video not lagging, but resolution is not great. Darn it.
Yeah.
We are working on that, Christine. Thank you so much for that feedback.
There we go.
So what about you? What are things that you do to increase your confidence? Think about that. Hello. Welcome back.
All right, now I got to add us both. Oh man.
It's going to work. It's going to work.
Keep going.
All right, we're going to go into point 4 while Derek is still working. So let's take a look. I'm going to press this button. And all right, so we've got one more piece. What happens when doubt creeps up? What happens when you doubt the trust that you have in yourself and you say, like, I have low or no self-confidence, I have low self-esteem. You're beating yourself up after the fact, like, or during that presentation or after that presentation. Maybe you are getting stalled out in even getting started. All right, so what do we do in that case? Well, P&R. These 2 8-letter words are going to help you understand to quit saying something's easy or hard. You're going to start developing proficiency, because that's what those words represent. When we say that something's easy, that's because you have a high state of proficiency around it. When we say that something's hard, it's because you don't have a high state of proficiency in that. So these 2 8-letter words that are directly tied to the level of your proficiency are, write this down, here we go, practice and repetition. Practice and repetition build proficiency, and proficiency is at the heart of the matter for whether we say that something's easy or hard. Let's take a look at this. Doubt is my enemy from Jessica, right? What if we can just like change that relationship because of some practice and repetition? Samyaza 666, hi back at you. Thanks for joining. Imposter syndrome is my second name. I think it would be like your second and third names there, Lucas. That imposter syndrome will cut you off at the knees. It'll paralyze you to not to take those steps. Looks like Annika jumped over to YouTube. And it looks like Annika, is the signal any better? Really appreciate that. Dave giving some love to Lucas. Looks like y'all have shared the middle names there. So practice and repetition is what builds that proficiency. That's what you can take a look at. And how do you build that practice and repetition with confidence? You call your shot. If you say that you're going to wake up at a certain time, you wake up at that time. You don't hit snooze and roll back over and get like 7, 8, 9 more minutes of sleep. Nope. You wake up, you get your feet on the ground, stretch out, start saying what you're grateful for. If you say that you're going to go exercise, if you say you're going to go to bed on time, if you say that right now is the time for me to work on this client project, and by the end of this time block, I am going to have the rough cuts ready so that way I can take it to that next level. I'm going to be ready on this timeline to be able to present this to my client. So practice and repetition is what's going to help you not say that something's hard anymore. You can say accurately, I'm building proficiency. Imagine if you said that to your clients, right? How new are you? Well, I'm building proficiency. So here we go. Jazz flute. This is a conversation that I had with my mentor about when you build a proposal or you're submitting that client work for their review. If they say no, if they don't like it, that's okay. Not everybody likes jazz flute. I do most of the time. So if they don't like your work, remember, this is a collaboration. You're the artist that is being commissioned to carry out what that client has in their mind or that aligns with their brand strategy. So if there's tweaks, if there's feedback, if there's that space for collaboration, that's what we're looking for. And if they're just a clear no, they don't like it, it's not good, that's okay too. That's feedback for you. If that is absolutely how you like to create, and that is you are tied to that design style, then the next step is getting you in contact with that target market that likes your style, that likes how you play the jazz flute. So if somebody says no and shuts you down, it's not, even if it's meant personal, and even if they're just a total jerk and call you names and discredit your work, hey, walk away, take some breaths. And remember, not everybody likes jazz flute. So we just got to get you in front of the right audience. And the final piece is seek additional training. There's great books out there. There's great resources out there. One of the things I'm thinking back here to one of the first steps I took for creating more confidence in my life was just started journaling. Did I do what I say that I want to do? I write out some pieces of what I'm going to accomplish in the morning. And then in the evening, did I accomplish it? Did I hit or did I miss? Did I call my shot and follow through? So that wraps up how to create some more confidence. Give me some feedback. What are some of the ways that you all create some confidence in your life, in your business? Or what are some of the things that you might be struggling with? Let's move into some Q&A. Love it, love it, love it, because when you are super active, we give stuff away. So let's see those questions coming in, or let me know what stuck out. The past tense.
Stuck out to you. Oh my gosh. Stucked
out to you.
Boom, there I am.
The international audience is just like, what? Yeah, there we go. And you have light.
Into my home office of sorts. This is Jenna's
You're back
office.
downstairs.
I'd show it, but it's a train wreck right now because we had which way's safer? Because we're in the middle of moving to a downtown office and she's pregnant, so we're setting up stuff for babies and whatever. Life. Hey, look, now I'm smaller than you. First it was we'll get there.
You look good. You look great. You look great. See, Jessica's saying, you want to put Jessica up on the screen?
Boom.
Yeah. Like to remind myself that no matter what, I try my best, and that's the best I can be. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's going to help you take that next step. It sounds like, Jessica, great job. Annika, I struggle when the client isn't happy with the design and starts behaving like a designer because of no creative brief at all. How does one deal with that? Derek, why don't you take that?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to bring that back up here again. So there's a few things. Is the client not happy with the design, right? And then there's also the creative brief, and also what we call scope of work. So how do you deal with that? There's a few things in play. One is from the beginning, over communicating, right? Making sure that you're very, very clear on what they need and what they want. And just because they call something modern or grungy or hipster does not mean that that's what they think they want. So I try to pull samples from Pinterest or Behance or other places where I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And I try and show them so they don't have to be the one that went to school to understand art terms and lingo. They can be the one that can point and grunt and be like, oh, that one, right? Like literally, we're trying to make it easy for them.
He says this because that's the approach he's taking for me.
If you want to watch the replay from a couple nights ago on Behance and YouTube, I'm working on Paul's logo, and you can actually watch the process. And he jumped in halfway through. It was a lot of fun. Check the link.
Yeah.
Maybe I can post it. But so that's one way, is making sure that you're calling an apple, not an apple an orange, right? So we wanted to start there. Then the next thing is part of finding clients who will be happy with your work is attracting people based on your portfolio. So you're going to attract more of what you do. And you might physically not be able with your current skill set to do what they want, and just be okay with that. So there's times where, like, I know that I'm not going to achieve a highly illustrated look for a client. So sometimes you have to learn how to say no at the beginning, or be willing to take the risk to learn that skill set. So there's something else too. And then the other thing is that scope of work, and what we call scope creep. We call it an SOW, scope of work. And what that means is before you do anything, you have defined either in a contract or in a simple email with a bullet list saying, here's exactly what I'm going to do for you, and here's exactly when you're going to see it. And here's exactly everything that's going to happen. And so that way, if they try and deviate from that, hey, sometimes they see what you can do and they get interested in seeing what else you can do because they haven't worked on this before. So like, oh, can we try this? Can we try this? Can we do this? And you're like, that sounds like a great idea, and I'm happy to push this as far as you want to go. But our current work contract gives me enough time to do it this way without going over budget. If you'd like me to adjust the contract, totally happy to do it. But I think we need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that we don't go over budget. And that way you're not saying no, but you are telling them it's not free for me to just create a bunch of ideas for you to maybe like it or not. Okay. So that's another approach. So Annika says, I do define the scope of work. Yes, that is super helpful. Awesome. Okay. So then the next thing is, for me, I don't mind if I have people telling me what to do. And I've come to terms with the fact that for the most part, I'm not always a graphic designer. I'm more of a graphic assembler, right? And the difference being, I am assembling their brand, right? I'm taking things that they like and I'm building it and putting it on a t-shirt or doing something else with it. So we call it design, but sometimes I feel like I have to take off that pride of like, well, I'm a designer. Do you have any idea how much my time is worth? To being like, okay, I realize I have the tool set to do what you can't. I will help you assemble this graphic for you. And I'm not too proud to do it in a way that maybe isn't my favorite. So a lot of times where that conflict comes is your pride jumps in and you want to do it a certain way, even though that's not what the client wants. At the end of the day, do you want to get paid? If you want to get paid, do what they want. Like,
deliver the results that they're looking for.
Move it this way and make it purple with orange polka dots because that's what they wanted. Great, whatever. Okay, I did exactly what you wanted. We met the scope of work. Now pay me. And that might not be a portfolio piece, right? And so I think you just have to try and identify at what points do you push back as a designer and say, no, I'm a designer. I appreciate what you're trying to do here. In my experience, I have found that this will be a better result for you. Would you like me to try this instead? Or this is what you wanted. I did the work. Thank you and good luck. You know?
Yeah, it kind of comes back to that advise and oblige. Have you ever heard that?
I don't know that I have.
Advise and oblige. You're going to advise them that no, Paul, the inner glow, outer glow, satin embossed texture on your font. Yes, I know that you love it. It does clash with best practices. How do you want to proceed? I think you said something very similar to me because some of the clients that have a little bit of proficiency in some of the software, are they going to be some of the most dangerous ones to work with?
Right. I'm replying to people in the chat.
Let's pull up. Let's pull up Annika's comment here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I understand getting the getting paid bit, but it just does not feel
Yeah.
right to be pushing out a bad design, associate your name with it. I don't mind if it
100%.
isn't a portfolio piece. Right.
At that point, typically you discover these issues halfway into a project, and you have to identify early on, is this a pride thing?
Mhm.
Is this a thing you can correct, right? And save and get it back on the tracks? Or is this something that in order to be done with it and move on with other work, you just need to be done with it? And that's a
Right.
tough one. That's a tough one. And yes, absolutely pride, because you don't want that client saying, oh, so and so did this, even though technically they were the one that was a designer. You were the graphic assembler. You weren't the designer. You just did what they told
Right.
you. Yeah, you're
Right.
right. Your name's still on it. So it's a very, very fine line of trying to know when to cut bait, or when to stick with it and finish the project well, even if it costs you extra time. That's a tough one. And as you get better,
Mhm.
you'll identify that earlier on in the process.
And even in my industry, I'm as a coach and a consultant. When I advise someone on here's some techniques for behavioral change, that's then for them to use. If they don't use it, that doesn't make me a lousy consultant or a coach. It means that they are a person that has their own opinions, that has their own choices. They have
Right.
free will.
Right.
So it at a certain point, because I did in my younger days, I did feel like if they didn't have this change, then I'm not good enough. Now, maybe it wasn't the right fit, or maybe I didn't have that statement of work scoped in for what are those expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, great question, Annika.
Yeah. Super, super good. And I think you hit the nail on the head too with that, trying to identify what parts you can own and what parts are beyond your control, right?
Yeah.
And being okay with that.
See, I put the YouTube link for the logo video
Oh,
in
cool.
the Behance. Do you want to copy that over to
Yeah.
push it out on
Yeah.
the
I'll do
YouTube
that
and
real
the
quick.
Facebook?
The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Oh my gosh. Did you copy it from YouTube though, so the playback will be better? Boom. There it is.
I
Yep, you did.
did. I
You
did.
did. You did. Look at me go. Copy,
Teamwork.
paste. Teamwork. Oh no, I closed the wrong window though. It's all good. Yeah, check out this video. This link here. This link is the replay of me working on Paul's new brand.
Yeah, there we go.
Boom. Yeah. So check that out, guys. Super, super fun project working on Paul's new brand. And I've actually had to do I've had to do this a little bit with Paul. So Paul, and all of his beautiful energy and exuberance, is that the right word? I don't know.
Eccentricities in your divaness.
I think the last 3 weeks you've had like 5 different business models come at me.
Oh,
I mean,
at least.
not business models, but there's just been a lot that we're kicking around and trying to
Yeah.
talk through. And so last night he hits me with, "Well, I think I want to do this for my logo," and I was like, "Wait, stop!
What happened?
We just did this."
Right.
So we're
Right.
working through that. It's the human condition, I think, and so that scope of work plus a framework, which is something we can talk about another time around. When art is so subjective, guys. There's so many
Mhm.
ways, and I think that's what I love about Moto Mondays is I come at it from the artistic approach. You do too, Paul. You really do. But you also have the tools and the training and the framework to help it be predictable, so that way your results can happen not as a surprise, but as a repeatable business model, really, where you
Right. You want to be able
can
to
have
call
the
your shot.
confidence. Exactly. It's exactly
Right.
it. Having the confidence to know that, hey, I made a great logo once before, and I have the confidence that I can do it again for the next client or the next project for the same
Es-
client.
Especially when you take that time to document your process
Right.
and start identifying, well, how much time does it take for me to initially do the first mock-up? How much
Yep.
time am I going to dedicate to surfing Pinterest or Reddit or something like that to be inspired for ideas?
Yep.
How much time are we going to spend on Typography Tuesday with Derek Mitchell so I can understand what's out there for font packs? If you guys aren't checking that out, it's pretty interesting. Like, for not being a graphic designer, I found myself like, oh, I didn't know you could change like that little like swoop de doop of that letter. Yeah, pretty awesome show.
Yeah. I was
What
going to say
else?
something else I totally forgot.
It's because we're having too much fun.
I know, too much fun. Dang it. Oh, it was a good point. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
You think about that. Drop some additional questions down below. We are here to
Yes,
answer these
Annika.
questions.
I've been doing a typography Tuesday. Last week, did I miss it? Or did I do it? I think the office changeover kind of goofed me up on that one. But yeah, typography Tuesday. So I'll make posters, I'll make logos, just having some fun on Behance and YouTube, and definitely tune in, check it out. It doesn't have a current time slot. It's kind of whenever, but it's on Tuesday because it rhymes, or at least, no, that's not rhyming. What is that?
It's alliteration.
There we go. I knew that. I just wanted to see if you knew it. Like Moto Monday, right? Wednesday can be, Wacky Wednesday, where
Wacky Wednesday.
I don't know. Now
The show belongs on Wednesday then.
we're quickly going derailed here. So let's bring it back in. But yes, Annika, join me on Typography Tuesdays. Would love to see you there. I will make a schedule. Maybe I'll make a typographic schedule of my actual live streaming schedule. There you go. That could be a thing. All right.
If people are wanting to find out when you go live, they can subscribe to or follow you on Behance. What is that?
Okay, so on Behance, you can like my profile, subscribe to my updates on my portfolio on Behance, or follow me, I think is what they call it, and then you'll get notifications when we go live. On YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you're not. Would love to have you join, and
hit the bell. Subscribe and hit the bell.
There you go. And then if you want to be absolutely sure you don't miss anything, go to our websites and join our email newsletters. So mine is at derekmitchell.com, and you can join my newsletter there. Lots of other cool tutorials and freebies and lots of fun stuff there. And then Paul at paulgowin.com. Let's see, I've got an overlay for you, but it's going to confuse everybody because I'm on the right side.
Oh, hold on. Let me jump on that side.
It's in the link. I think I linked it below. So check out the links below for that detail. Out of control. Control. Do we have any
When are you all struggling with confidence? What is it in your day or your week or your productive cycle that is hampering your confidence? Put that question in the chat roll down below so we can weigh in and see if we can help.
Yeah, and I think for me, the confidence issue, I'm over 20 years into my career, and even last week, I'm not exaggerating. Like even last week, dealing with confidence issues, and that stems from, I think, the creative cycle. There's so much unknown. It's not mathematical or scientific. 1 + 1 = 2, right? In math, and so with art, there's a lot of ways to get to 1 + 1 = 2, and then you can add things to it on top. How do you know when to be done? And so there can be that confidence issue when you've got a project, something due, and the creative tank is empty. The ideas aren't flowing, especially now more than ever when a lot of us are isolated or aren't working in a traditional office environment where you can get unstuck more quickly.
Right.
Sometimes you get more distracted in an office space, and sometimes you need that focus at home. Some of you are maybe killing it at home, being your introverts, and you're thriving. So what do you do when your confidence struggles and your creativity struggles? And I think that joining things like these live calls are huge. Join us in the Facebook group. That's huge. We've got almost 17,000 members that are helping each other out. And a little bit of a tangent, I quit social media too. That's something that's been helping me. I turned off Instagram. I deleted the app, deleted Facebook off my phone, mostly because of the privacy issues they were doing. But the sideline benefit that I didn't expect, I did not realize how addicted to it I was. I did not realize how much time it cut into my day. And I didn't realize, more than any of this, the emotional baggage from seeing the news and politics and just things, even positive things, seeing somebody else maybe just crushing it. And there's those little bits of jealousy, maybe even, that you might feel from somebody else getting that new job and you see it on LinkedIn or whatever. The peripheral benefits of me quitting social media like that has been massive. And so that could be another way that you guys, instead of looking around at what everybody else is doing and having that just beat up your confidence, like, oh, I'm not as good as them, turn it off for a minute, get in your studio, your bedroom, your guest bedroom. If you can get to a coffee shop or a park bench now that the weather's coming up, being a little nicer, being removed from social media, being off your phone, but being creative. Even if it's tactile again, start finger painting or getting markers out and drawing, do things to help build that confidence back up and just to kind of relieve that stress that builds. That's been huge for me with my confidence level. So we've got some comments here. Let's see. Creative block is definitely something that puts me down. Yeah. Taking a step back is definitely the way to go. Yeah, 100% Annika. And again, that
Yeah.
social media piece for me has been huge. Um, I'm at the end of the project. I'm not sure if the colors are working or layout is even enough or too much.
Right.
That's the
Right.
point. So subjective. How do you know when to be done? And I think having people around you, for me, Paul and my wife, are uh, I'm constantly sharing things with to help get a fresh perspective. So if you've got a
Right.
friend, a family member, and you have to be careful with that kind of stuff too, because they can quickly take you down the wrong path with their feedback. Uh, but
And you're never done until you have the outer inner glow emboss and texture font, Jessica. It's not too much. Derek just doesn't like it.
Oh,
Agree to disagree.
our stream almost just ended. I've got it perched on a stool and I just kicked it. We about Oh, there it is again. I better not put my foot on it.
Yep. And then Christina over on Behance, my confidence tanks when I end up with the wrong client, the type of client that starts changing the entire design. And that's going to quickly go outside of the statement of work, right, Derek?
Outside of the statement of work or even personality traits. And I think identifying early. So I've worked with some people now who I actually appreciate more than ever, but originally was a struggle. They were very, very brash. Think like Simon on American Idol, where
Oh,
you're never going to get a compliment. It's
right.
always gonna be matter of fact. Rarely is it
Right.
good enough. And that just destroyed me because I am very much like the little praise. It's like, oh, good job, Derek. Awesome. Now I'm gonna
Right.
work for an extra 5 hours. That just boosted me through the day.
Yeah.
Whereas the clients are like, nah, it's just it kills that energy. And I realize now I actually really like working with some of those people. And part of it is because for one, I know how to I understand it now. It's taken me a long time to get past it. It's not anything against you as a person. Uh,
Right.
it doesn't make it right. It's just understanding how to work with it. And when they do give praise, like they mean it because they're not just fluffing. They're not just trying to whatever. You get the point. Like if they say something
Right.
positive, they mean it. And so I think those clients who are negative, taking a huge step back, you can't let that stuff fall on you. You can't let that think like, getting slimed in Nickelodeon where the slime drips down you and it's just like, oh, right. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's even a thing anymore. I'm old.
I don't
But
even know.
the point is like you can't wear that stuff personally. It will
Yeah.
just it'll just weigh you down. You have to find a
Right.
way to make it matter of fact. And as most of us creatives, we're pretty emotional, and that's difficult to do.
Let me jump in before we put this next
Yeah.
one up.
Okay.
Christina, in this space, how are you capturing what you're learning about the clients that you want to work with? Do you go through a process at the end of each? Do you guys call them gigs, projects?
Sure. Yeah.
I want
Gig,
to call it a
side
gig.
hustle,
Yeah,
freelance
gig, side
project. It,
hustle.
it kind of depends
Yeah.
where you're at, but yeah.
When you get done with that project, put yourself through some sort of a review process and say, well, what did I learn about my creative process that worked really well? What do I want to highlight for improvement? What did I do really well with attracting the right client and screening them? You probably have gone through a lot of folks that want you to design something for free or they don't value your contribution. It's because they don't know. You haven't sold that value proposition yet. And so when you can step back and take a look at what you've learned, then you can not make that same mistake again, or at least decrease the odds for some of us that like to learn the hard way multiple times.
Right.
You can decrease the odds when you take time to learn about the process. So I hope that helps. All right, let's take a look at Dave's.
All right. Let me pop that up there real quick.
Whoop.
Boom.
So Dave says, I stepped aside one time just because the new guy replacing my contact was just a personality clash. Don't know if it was the right move in total, but it was the right move for me at the time.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, 2020 hindsight, right?
Right.
We are still lacking the technology to accurately predict the future based off of this decision right now. Is this going to be the right thing in the long term?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know. You just don't know.
I want to do some giveaways. So
here we go.
I've got a couple things to give away here. So if you're still with me in the chat, say I'm still here. Let us know you're tuning in. And I realize there's
Yeah.
probably like a 30-second to a minute delay on Behance, so we're going to give it some space. Let us know you're still here. Say I'm still here. Say hook me up. Something, I don't know.
I think hook me up works. Hold on, I'm gonna jump in
Dave's
on
here.
that
All
one.
right. All right. So Dave, I want to hook you up. Annika, I want to hook you up. Jessica, I want to hook you up. Let's see. What do we got? We got Annika is still here. So I want to give away my portfolio course,
Ooh.
my portfolio builder. I want to give away my Freelance Like a Pro on Upwork course. That one's actually mostly Jenna, my wife.
Yeah. Genius wife.
Genius wife. So comment.
Amazing, beautiful, genius wife.
Yeah. Tell you what, Annika, Jessica, Dave, I want to hook you up with both. So just email me. It's completegraphicdesign@gmail.com.
Long name, pretty awesome results.
Yeah, complete graphic design at gmail.com. I think I did that right. My wife will probably get it because she checks that for me, and we'll check for you. So just email, say, hey, here's my, because I gotta have your email so I can send you the
Yep.
registration link. So I'll hook you guys up. So send me an email. Say hey, what's up? Let me know where to send it. All right.
There it is.
Jessica, Annika, Dave, and then
We've got a.
Okay, wait a minute. So I got a message that says this message is held from review from Annika. Don't post your email on this link, or maybe it's holding my email. I don't know if that went out.
I had to allow it to go out on Behance.
All right,
It was pending. There we go.
Right.
And I've got it
there's
over
the
on
email
Behance
on
for you.
the replay if you can see it. To send it to me, sort of. I mean,
Yeah.
my wife who checks it. But yeah, Annika, Jessica, Dave, reach out. Is there somebody on Behance I can give that to also? I can't see the Behance chat. I closed it.
Oh, we got Susan BG? Like, stay alive.
Yeah, Dave says thank you. You're welcome. Jessica, you're welcome. Annika, you're welcome.
Oh, Annika put your email down to help out.
Cool.
Thanks for that, Annika.
So yeah, awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
We've got Christina over on Behance.
Yeah, Christina sent me an email.
There it is. And she said, accessing and reflecting is not my strong suit, but the advice is duly noted. And come up with a standard set of questions so that way you can stabilize what's going on for you. It's kind of like what Derek was talking about, that I've had these 5 really great ideas in the last 3 weeks. He's being generous. It's more like the last 3 days.
Well, and the hard part is, especially as a freelancer, nothing is certain. If you have a job, even that's not certain, but for the most part, you're pretty sure you're going to get a check in 2 weeks. Right. But when it comes to freelancing, you kind of have to look at what options come, because it's not for certain until you get that deposit check. And so I get it. Like, there is a little bit of that. My wife just got home. I had to come down here because the internet and things.
Because of internet. We've got another question here. You ready for this one? Over from Behance. This is from Christine Joan. What I'm trying to overcome is the age issue. Trying to transition from finance to a design career in the 55 plus age group. Trying to remember what experience you have to offer over young people. Now, Christine, may I get a little slightly sassy with you here?
Look who I have.
Oh, there's Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie. There we go.
This is Georgia. Can you say hi, Uncle Paul?
Hello.
Hi,
Georgie.
It's almost your nap time, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Christine, I want to get a little sassy with you here, because the last time I checked, there's not a spot to put in how old you are on the projects. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. But let me know about that piece. What do you have to offer? With your background in finance, you're going to have these skills or processes or procedures that in your service, while you were in that area of finance, you're going to be able to bring those processes over to graphic design. Same thing with meeting with clients. You had some aspect of customer relations, or even working with your teammates. And you could look at a client as a teammate that we're going to link arms for this project. So you have these skills that can apply over. Now, if you want to know all of the shortcuts and the 5 different ways to select the move tool, Derek has an awesome course on that. And I was watching a lot of his free training over on YouTube for how to do all of that stuff. And at the beginning of the video, when he says, if you're new, you can watch me on 2x. If you're not new and you want to slow things down, bump it down to like, well, I had to bump it down to like a quarter speed. So if you're looking for some of those,
I talk pretty fast. Yeah.
Right. So if you're looking for some of those technical skills, this is what I'm talking about with investing into a professional that can help cut down that learning curve time for you. But as far as like what you have to offer, you are limitless, lady. Take a look at those processes and ask yourself, based off of what I learned, not necessarily in terms of an end result or an end product, but in that process of delivering a product. What is a process that I did in the finance arena that I can then bring into graphic design?
That really parallels nicely with life isn't the destination, it's the journey, right? Like the journey of creating. When the project's done, sure, you've got something you're proud of, but also what you just said, what'd you learn along the way? How was the process? How was the journey, right? Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, Annika's asking, is ageism a real thing? I see young creatives learning so quickly, which kind of makes me doubt my abilities sometimes. Yeah, ageism's a real thing. When you hear old farts talking about young whippersnappers, and you hear young whippersnappers talking about old farts, yes, ageism is a real thing. Are you going to let that thing stifle your creative contribution to the world? Especially as we're facing a pandemic. The world needs your creative beauty. Bring it on over. And if you've got a little bit of age on that, I mean, that's like a fine wine. Otherwise, you're just stuck with like grape juice. What do you think about that?
I used to be on the young end of that, where people didn't want to work with me because I was so young. How could I know what I was doing? Didn't want to pay as much. Now I'm probably getting the other end of that. I didn't shave very long, or I hadn't shaved in a few days the other day, and I was like, man, there's a lot of gray hairs coming back.
There's a lot of gray hairs.
Yeah. And so, on the one hand, there's some respect that comes with it, but on the other hand, there's like, especially with what we do, like it depends on your industry too. With technology, I feel like even myself, if I saw somebody much older than me, you don't mean to be this way, but you tend to kind of write them off. They're like, what, they're old, whatever. But you have to realize like there's so much more experience that comes with that. And at the end of the day, what we do as designers is telling a story in many ways, especially if you're in the marketing side of that, where you're marketing a product or telling that story, that brand story. And when you can tell the right story and you can convince somebody, maybe not convince is the right word, but to buy into that brand because they correlate with that story, that's what we're doing at the end of the day. So there's a lot of wisdom to be gathered from people who've been doing this for a long time because I've tried stuff that's worked. Now, granted, they might not know how to use the latest filter in Photoshop, the latest neural filters or whatever. They might have no clue about that, but they can figure it out, right? And that's the other thing too, in what we're doing. Technology is constantly changing. So not being afraid to just figure it out, right? Not being afraid to just be like, well, I don't know it, but I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. Google actually is that. Or my courses. Check out the links.
Google, YouTube University, Bootcamp. What is it? The graphic design Bootcamp?
Hey, what's up, Sarah? Sarah's a good friend.
Hey, Sarah.
Lives in the Valley here. Good to see you. Actually, Sarah, we should get coffee here soon. It's been forever. I hope you're doing well. Annika says, thanks. Also, my laptop charger is upstairs and I've got 10%.
Oh goodness. Well, we've got it's a minute and a half left.
So let's put a bow on it.
Yeah. Give a shout out to some of these comments on Behance. Nevea just said, I just hopped off a creative string and onto a support stream. Just what I needed. Awesome. We do this every Monday at the same time. We've been doing this since December. Susan BG, yes, definitely ageism exists. I embrace the next generation and enjoy learning from them as long as the respect is mutual. And here's the great thing. When you create this confidence, you can have this trust within yourself first to where you don't need to validate you, your skills, your age, or any of those other pieces. You live into your trust, and then you work to earn that with other people. Absolutely awesome. That wraps it up for today. As we are getting the tour a day Mitchell house,
of the ceiling,
tour a day Casa de Mitchell.
Yeah, right.
Final comment read here. Dave used the younger generation as an educational source. Even though they are young, there are many things that they can teach us to make us older folks even better, and vice versa, right? You can't Google wisdom. That comes from having conversations with people that have more experience than you, and that just suspends age. If I was in my 60s and I wanted to work with a graphic designer, it wouldn't be that I would discredit Derek because he's younger than me. He has that experience. And that's one of those ways that you can lean into your confidence. And that wraps us up.
That wraps us
Moto
up.
Monday today.
Don't forget to send me that email, guys. And we'll hook you up. Also, yes, do that.
Also, yes, all the things.
Also, yes, all the things. Guys, this has been awesome. Paul, thanks, everybody. If you would like to stay in touch with us, don't forget, make sure you like the video, give us a thumbs up if you can, tap that bell, and that way you'll get notified when we go live next. And then to make sure you don't miss it, also join the email newsletter. So derekmitchell.com. And I have a bunch of stuff there too, free tutorials, all kinds of good things. Check it out. And I am looking for the outro. There it is. All right, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Are we going to see you next week? We will see you next week. Here's the outro. It might work. I don't know.